Let me guess. Your calendar is full, your energy is at an all-time low, and somehow everyone else's needs are getting met except yours. You keep saying yes. Yes to helping, yes to showing up, and yes to things you don't actually want to do. Not because you have the time, certainly not because you have the energy, but because saying no feels uncomfortable. Well, let me tell you, in midlife, a lot of us were taught that being good meant being available, being dependable, being agreeable. But here's the truth we don't say out loud enough. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, you're saying no to yourself. Today, we're changing that. Because saying no isn't rude. It isn't selfish. It's fucking powerful. And it might be the very thing that gives you your life back. Welcome to the Love Your Naked Ass podcast, the Midlife Rebellion Edition. I'm your host, Kimberly Riggins, health and life coach, holistic nutritionist, and your go-to bullshit detector for all things midlife. If you've ever rolled your eyes at the phrase aging gracefully, you're my kind of rebel. Because midlife isn't about slowing down. It's about showing up, speaking up, and maybe flipping a few tables along the way. So grab your coffee or your cocktail. I'm not here to judge. It's time we raise some hell, laugh a little, and love our naked asses again. Let's do this. Hey, welcome back. We're going to dig right in because the power of saying no is by far one of my favorite conversations. So let's start with this. Why do we overcommit? And why does it get worse in midlife? Let's talk about why this is so hard, because it's not an actual character flaw. In midlife, from my experience, the pressure multiplies. You're often supporting aging or sick parents. You're still showing up for your kids or your family. You're carrying the emotional labor at work. And you're expected to handle it all because you always have. So you say yes, even when your body is screaming no. Because you don't want to disappoint people. And you don't want to rock the boat. And you don't want to be seen as difficult. But here's the cost. Burnout, resentment, exhaustion, and literally a life that feels like it's happening to you instead of for you. So let me tell you a little bit about my personal story with overcommitting. I used to think being busy meant being valuable. In fact, if I wasn't needed, I would feel guilty. If I said no, I typically over-explained. And if I rested, I always felt the need to justify it. I was definitely the yes person without saying the word yes. I would always find a way to help people. I have always been considered the reliable one, the one people count on. And on the outside, I looked strong. But on the inside, I was drained, overwhelmed, and quietly resentful. What finally hit me was this. I was giving everyone the best of me and leaving myself with the scraps. And that's when I realized saying yes to everything was actually saying no to the life I wanted. So let me flip the script for you. I want to talk about why saying no is the super power move. Saying no is not a personality flaw. So let's reframe this. Saying no doesn't make you selfish. It makes you intentional. Your time on this earth is finite. Your energy is not unlimited, and midlife is not the season for wasting either. When you say no, you protect your health, you protect your peace, and you protect your priorities. And here's the wild part. The people who respect you, they'll adjust. The people who benefit from your overgiving, well, at first they might resist, but who gives a shit? And that tells you everything you need to know anyway, right? So, for those of you who aren't quite there yet, how do you start saying no without drama and, of course, without guilt? Let's make this super doable. Because you don't need a script, you don't need an apology tour. Here are some simple ways to start. Pause before answering anyone. You don't owe anyone an immediate yes. If you can't say no, the sentence, "Let me think about that," is the second best, most powerful statement. Say no without explaining. No, I'm not available for that. Or no, because remember, no is a complete sentence. That's it. Full stop. You don't need a reason that sounds good enough. In fact, you don't need a reason at all. No is no. And lastly, think about choosing alignment over approval. If it doesn't align with your life goals, your energy, or your values, it's a hard-ass no. So, perfect timing for your action step for the week, because you are going to take your time back. This week, I want you to identify one thing you've been overcommitting that totally drains your energy. Just one. And then I want you to do one of three things. Say no to it, step back from it, or renegotiate it. And use that reclaimed time for something that actually supports you. How lovely would it be to take back that time and actually just rest? Or go out for a walk in nature? Or work towards a business goal or a passion goal you've been thinking about for 500 years? Or better yet, how about do nothing? Here's the thing, all of it counts. Let this land. You are not required to earn your rest. You are not responsible for everyone else's comfort. And you are allowed to change how you show up. Saying no doesn't close doors. It might feel that way at first, but I promise you, it opens up the right ones. All right, let's talk about what's coming next week. Because this is where everything we've been talking about the last couple episodes comes together. Next week, we are going to talk about rewriting the rules. Because remember, in midlife, it's not a crisis, it's a rewrite. In next week's episode, we're talking about how to stop living by expectations that, honestly, you didn't choose for yourself anyway, and start defining success on your terms. We'll dig into what that looks like to build a life that feels bold, authentic, and fully aligned with who you are now, not who you used to be or, God forbid, who the world expects you to be. So if you've been feeling like something needs to change, but you're not sure what or how, then be sure to be on next week's episode because it's going to light the path forward for you. Make sure you subscribe because this one is about stepping into your next chapter with intention, confidence, and zero apologies. And that's a wrap for this week's episode of the Love Your Naked Ass podcast, the Midlife Rebellion Edition. If you're loving the show, be sure to smash that subscribe button, drop a rating, or leave a review. Because we're not here to tweak the old narrative. We're here to torch it, rewrite it, and make damn sure every woman knows midlife is her prime. Don't forget to join me on Substack at Rebel Midlife, where we get raw, real, and a little rebellious about what it means to thrive in this chapter. I'm Kimberly Riggins, signing off with this reminder: midlife isn't a crisis, it's your comeback story. Catch you next time, Rebel.